What's up? It's recording. You did a good job. That was my husband. He like pushed the record button for me. I have a feeling that these like cute little, I put these in the front, you know, because when you're on IV meds and a lot of drugs, you lose hair. And we've lost some hair. The girl is shedding, so I put these little cute things in the front to kind of distract, to create the look. Do you know what I'm saying? But I think we're gonna lose those because of the wind. So if I end up shoving these behind my ear, that's what you get, okay? Sorry. Anyway, today's video is going to be about my fear of leaving the house and when I was newly diagnosed. This is kind of for my newer diagnosed people, because you guys that are like dealing with PH and y'all, my old school PHers out there, the OGs that have had it for a long time, you guys have your tricks and you guys have your ways to deal with the getting out of the house. And sorry, the sun and the humidity kind of messes with my breathing today, so if I'm like a little bit more, then that's probably what it is. But yeah, so we're gonna talk about leaving the house and how when you first get diagnosed and maybe you've already had a fainting spell or whatever, you start to get really terrified of leaving the house, you know. And for me, it was a gradual process, and I'm just going to talk about my own story because that's all I'm here to talk about. I'm not here to like, oh, this is what you should do, this is, you know, no, I'm saying what works for me, and you can use it or you can throw that away, whatever you decide. But when I first started getting sick, I didn't know I was getting sick. That's the whole gig of the situation, is like I didn't know. Oh look, I fixed my nails. See? Back to my old self. I didn't know I was getting sick. I was just, no, I'm tired. You go to the store. No, I'm tired. Like, I don't feel like going over there and stuff like that. So slowly as I progressed into like, I am bedbound, I cannot walk, it was kind of like my going out kind of started to decline. I kind of started to go down. So then as I knew, like, okay, I'm sick, I went to the doctor. The doctor was like, this is what we think you have. You still need to get a right heart cath, you know, going through the right heart cath, then like getting really, really sick, getting the pump on, all that stuff. I then had the pump on. I then declined again because, like I said previously in my other videos, you can go back and check those, I wasn't dealing with a pulmonologist that had a lot of experience with PH. So I started to decline, even though I had the pump on and had the Velitri and it was like helping, I started to decline again. So then after that, I got transferred to the San Antonio clinic and I met my doctor, which was like amazing, and he like was the one that saved my life and stuff like that. So I was in the ICU over there. But I was in that ICU for a long time. I think it might have been a month, I think, or something like that. But I was so happy with treatment and the safety net and the safety of those nurses around me. And if I needed something or if they thought my heart was overworking, it was like they went straight into action. And I was so comfortable and surrounded by people that knew what they were doing and surrounded by educated people that were saving my life, you know, and I grew very comfortable with that. And so I was in that hospital room and you kind of just start to, that's your new normal at the time. So I was very comfortable with that. And then when they were like, okay, you're doing great, you're stable, it's time to go home, I was like, no, I don't want to go home, like I can't, like I was terrified of just not having people there around me that knew what the heck was going on with my body. And I actually, I went home and I would just stay, oh look, there's a bug from outside, sorry. And I would just stay inside the house, and I would walk the inside of my house, like I said, and I was like, okay, you're safe here. If anything feels weird or your oxygen drops, you have your you know, concentrator, and you know, my life was so almost gone at that point that anything that I had, like the realm of just my house, was like, I was so happy for that. So I stayed And my husband was like, let's go do this. You can do this. We can, you know, and I was like, no, like I can't do it, no. And it took some time for me to feel comfortable. Sorry. For me to feel comfortable. Let me just turn this off because this is like super rude and annoying. For me to feel comfortable to like go outside of the house or like do anything. So to the family in this time, like, you know, if you're a family member, just chill. Just chill. Do not like push. Don't do it. It's just, first of all, that your idea and what's in your brain, you have knowledge and you say, I know she's physically capable or he's physically capable of doing this. They just need to be pushed. And it's the wrong, you know, way to do things. It's the wrong way to do things because that's good and that's true for like a kid or somebody who is physically capable of things that has no physical ailments, that just needs the push. They just need to be pushed, and then, you know, they'll get over that hump and they'll understand that everything's fine. That's great when you don't have the emotional trauma of your physical body not working for you. If you're trying to push and you're like in a PT setting and you have nurses and doctors and everything on hand and they're on monitors and stuff that says, yes, you know, you're physically capable, that's totally different. But if you're at home and your husband or, you know, you're like, oh, he's just being lazy, he just needs to be pushed to go out to the movies with us. Wrong. Because half of the time you don't know what they're hiding in their own body from you. Half of the time you don't know what they feel that they're not saying to you. You know what they say, you know what the doctor says, you know what you see from the outside perspective, but you don't know what the physical body on the inside feels like and what they're learning how to navigate again. And that's the thing that I cannot express enough, is that PHers, a lot of people with chronic illness, we're smiles on the outside because we don't need other people around us freaking out, feeling uncomfortable, stressed out about us. So we constantly are like, oh no, I'm fine, I'm okay, I feel good. Oh, how are you feeling today? I'm doing great. I feel good. Because of the gratitude, of the place of gratitude where we come from. So yes, that's what we're saying on the outside a lot of times, because we, you know, set these affirmations for ourselves. That's, you say it and the body follows, but a lot of times you don't know what's going on the inside. And sometimes, I'm talking from a PH perspective, they could walk from here to the bathroom and still feel the physical stress of their heart, still feel the physical tachycardia, which is when your heart pumps really, really fast and then you feel like, I just like might faint, but I want it to like go down. So you sit down somewhere or you just stay standing still and then your heart rate starts to go down. Those things are things that they probably may not be sharing with you. Some people will, some people won't. You know, some people are more open about their situation than others. Like for me, I know my family needs communication or they're gonna push. They're gonna push because they think that what I'm saying on the outside is really everything that's going on. So I know for myself and my family, I need to tell them, no, I can't do it because my heart is like still under too much pressure. A lot of times the PH drugs take 6 weeks to work. They take 12 weeks to work at their peak, you know? So if you're just like, oh, I started taking Lateris last month, and then they're like, oh, in their brain, your medication may work like Advil. You took it, you should feel better, you know? No, it doesn't work like that, you know? So never push your PHer or person with chronic illness if they're telling you no. They're not making that up. They're not trying to be vulnerable. From my perspective, you know, like I was not trying to be vulnerable. I was just trying to keep myself in a contained space where I was safe and I felt safe. And it took some time. But when that person is ready, sorry, my eyes are huge. I saw myself on the camera the other day when I was like uploading a video, and I was like, my eyes water a lot from the medicine and stuff like that because all my follicles are open and stuff, so like my eyes will water and things, and my eyes are so huge. It's like, I know my eyes are huge because people tell you like, oh my gosh, you have huge eyes, and I'm like, I know it, but I don't stand in front of a mirror all day, and I don't like look at myself all the time. Like I do when I get ready, but then like you leave and you move on. And but like when I watch my videos and I'm like, ooh, your eyes are so big. It's like I'm having a second understanding of like, yes, I have huge eyeballs. But anyway, but yes, that's why my eyes water a lot. So if you see me do this, that's probably what it is. So anyway, getting back to what I was talking about. Yes, you're a chronically ill person. Who we are, we will move at our own time, and everybody has different time spans. Like for me, it took maybe a good 2 to 3 months before I felt comfortable like going out to a movie. You know, even a sit down dinner, I was kind of like, okay, I don't want to leave. Like you could just bring the food back here and we can just have food here and watch a movie in, you know, on TV. It'll be great, you know, because I was so satisfied with that, with life, you know. I was so happy in my bubble that I was like, let's not change things, let's not do things. But what I kind of thought was like, okay, it's the same thing with this YouTube channel. Like if I don't try it, I'm never gonna know. So that was my whole thing, and I was like, I'm gonna go. I made the tiniest grocery list that I could ever make, and I told my husband, I was like, okay, I'm ready to try to go to HEB. You know, and he was like, okay, great, you know. So I went and I got the tiny little list, and I walked super slow, and I took every moment like just slowly. You know, if I felt my heart rate go up, I just would stop and just take a second and then just like start moving on, and I did it, you know. And that was my first step. And for your first step, it could be anything. You could go to a park, you could, you know, just walk around the outside of your house. You could have like a little Circle K run that you feel comfortable with. It could be something small. It doesn't have to be like, you know, oh, I'm going to the movies, you know, I'm going to go walk at the mall. It doesn't have to be anything like that. Start small is what I say. So I went and then I was like, okay, I did it. So I was proud of myself, and then that's how I worked myself out of getting out of the house. And this doesn't have to be just for chronic illness people. It could be for anybody, like people with depression, people that, you know, aren't happy with themselves, that stay inside, you know, how to get out of the house. This is how I did it. This is what worked for me. And then finally, you know, after I started doing my groceries, the grocery list got longer. I would stay in the grocery store longer. I was like, okay, now I feel comfortable. Let's go to Walmart, you know, because Walmart's bigger, you know, and then I, you know, would get like toothpaste and deodorant and like just, okay, do little things like that helped me get out of the house. Then it was like, then I took a trip to the movies. Okay, then I can walk the movies, sit down, watch the movie, because even the medications, they affect us different ways. It's kind of like they mess with your blood pressure. So sitting down, standing up, you might feel woozy. That took a long time. So I would sit for the movie, but then if I got up too quick, it was like, like, you know, you feel weird. So after, that's why the movies took a long time for me to get to. But blood pressure is a big deal with our medication, so you always have to be like mindful of those things, you know. Sitting, standing, walking, all of those things, it takes time, and then for your blood pressure to adjust to your medicines is a whole nother ball game. So each person is working with a different like time frame of what feels comfortable in their body, you know. So then after that, I would start to do the mall and walk around with the mall, and I would take my wheelchair, sit in my wheelchair if I needed to. And now I don't use a wheelchair. Now I don't need a scooter. Now I don't need those things unless I went to, like, when I went to Disneyland, I went and I did take my scooter, my wheelchair, motorized wheelchair, because that is like not a distance that I can cover and stuff like that. But I can safely cover like a really long distance now, as long as I'm moving slowly and listening to my body. And now I do things that I haven't done when I was like super sick, and I would say I'm back to my old normal self with my new normal like capabilities, you know. So I'm not gonna go to a concert, and I'm not gonna like have a seat that's like stairs, flights of stairs and things like that. No, but I will go to a concert where I'm sitting on the floor, you know, and I will go to like events where I'm on the floor level, lower ground levels. I will go to events and stuff like that. And even still, getting to that event for me is very like stressful, because I'm like, where do we park? How far to where, you know, the chair is, or where the seat is, or how long am I going to be walking before I can get a break, and then I can make it to another long distance like that. So all of those things come into play for people that have lung issues and stuff like that. So it's not that we don't want to, it's just that gauging our physical capability is really hard to do sometimes. And like I was saying in my other video previously, sometimes your body's like on point and ready to do it that day, and it's like, yes, we can totally go to this thing. And sometimes it's just like, not happening, sis, not into it, it's not feeling it, and you know, we end up staying home the whole time. So it is back and forth, it is up and down with these kind of illnesses. But if you have it and you have the zest for life, the want to, the willingness to get out and do things, you can do it. But also too, for people like family and friends and stuff, be patient. Be patient. And that is the only thing that I can say is, from a point of love from somebody who's sick, is be patient with us, be kind. You know, we're not doing things to intentionally hurt anybody, because that is not about what most people with illnesses, we're not trying to intentionally hurt people. We're just trying to do what's best for ourselves. And what you realize, and what I've realized, what I've learned from being ill, is that I don't need, if you feel bad about something that I did and you don't want to tell me about it, like, oh, you didn't come to this party or whatever, and you don't want to talk to me about it, I'm sorry, there's nothing that I can do for you about that. But when there's somebody like me who's sick, my health and my sanity and what's best for me comes first. Because what I learned is that our life is very short, and what we do for our life that brings us joy, things that we want to do, places that we want to go, we need to put that as priority. It's not about everybody else and what everybody else feels anymore. Oh, I have to do this because somebody's gonna feel a type of way if I don't. I don't have that luxury anymore, and I don't have the physical energy anymore to do those type of things. So you will see a shift a lot of times in people with chronic illness, or people going through health scares and things like that. It's a shift in priority, it's a shift in understanding that what we need to do for ourselves, the amount of energy that we have in our family, needs to be a priority. It's not about my friend's sister's cousin is having a shower and you didn't go and they felt bad, you know, and it's like, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry that I did that, you know. But if I am having a bad pain day, or if I'm not having a good breathing day, that's what comes first. And our health and our physical well-being, like I said about my daughter's game, if I can't go because of the weather, if I can't go because it's really breezy outside and that's something that could cause me to get sick quicker, I have to put my health first. I have to put what I want to do first. My family, what works for me. That is the priority of my life now. And it seems, I kind of sometimes feel like people with illness and stuff, it's like our time is smaller. Our windows are smaller. We get sick quicker. We get tired faster. So it's kind of like if you have, you know, a 24-hour day, ours is probably a 14-hour day, because getting ready takes time. You fall asleep faster. You're exhausted faster. Our window of time in a day is shorter. And so that's what I try to help people understand, and that's what I'm kind of trying to explain and stuff, is that we are doing the best that we can. Don't push us to do things faster because you feel that, you know, they can do it, they just don't want to. Please don't do that. It's not going to work for somebody with PH, and it's not going to work for anybody with chronic illness. But do your best. You can do it. Whatever your body is capable of doing at that time, do it. Take every moment in, and, you know, go out and enjoy that movie, and go out and walk the mall slowly and get yourself that outfit, and, you know, take the time and put your makeup on whenever you have the energy to do it. Whatever works for you and whatever pace that you are in is what works for you. And I have my little snail shell, and I'm, you know, we call me a snail shell for like a lot of reasons, because I move slow. I have my little fanny pack, and I'm living my best life, and this is what I got. And so this is what I'm working with. So thank you for watching my videos. I'm gonna be here if you need anything. If you have another suggestion or you want me to give you advice on anything, leave it in the comment section. Like, subscribe, put the little bell on, or don't, you know, whatever you decide to do. But thank you for watching my video, and my name is Erica, your PH friend from Texas. So bye.